The Wednesday package, as usual, comes with an extra punch of views, reviews, previews, and interviews. Our lenses have been strategically positioned in different parts of the country to capture the Nigerian story, the local view, and the global perspective. The wins, losses, and stalemates as the nation tries to project its best version. Tonight, at the UN General Assembly, Nigeria to collaborate with key partners on projects aimed at industrial growth and domestic competences. Naira for crude policy, House of Representatives Committee to ensure effective synergy to optimize impact.
A thorough examination of each framework will enable the committee to determine whether the policy is achieving its intended objectives.
On local government autonomy, correspondent explores the value of depth between concept and actuality. Angry waters, floods visit Port Harcourt again as rains intensify in most parts of the Niger Delta. On business, Industrial Training Fund certifies 30,000 artisans while the Central Bank of Nigeria moves to protect currency integrity. We'll get all the details from Benny Adams. And in sports, we have a review of Nigeria's outing at the just concluded World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan with Badi Adeleye. It's an eclectic package tonight. And as we see on this shift, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I'm Yan Ray John, and this is News Extra. Welcome. Let's set sail tonight with full acknowledgement of the commitment of the Tinubu's administration towards addressing their challenges. In the last 2 years, leaders in Ogoni land have unanimously expressed readiness to support resumption of oil exploration in their land. This is part of the recommendations in the report on Ogoni consultations presented by the Dialogue Committee to President Bola Tinubu at the State House. State House correspondent Musbao Dadwahab reports.
The return of Ogoni delegation to the State House, fourth visit since President Bola Tinubu commenced his mission to right the wrong of the past and for a win-win situation for all parties. This time, the Dialogue Committee set up by the President under the coordination of a National Security Advisor to find a common ground between the federal government and the Ogoni people are here to submit reports after more than 7 months of consultation. The Ogoni people, with years of environmental pollution and degradation due to oil exploration, leading to agitation and the resultant loss of lives, are having new experience under the current administration. And for that, a prayer right from the heart.
Because you have given us a sense of belonging for the first time in our history, I pray that the good Lord will give you peace, unspeakable testimonies, unending love.
They acknowledged the President's sensitivity to their plight and remediation manifesting in the establishment of a Federal University of Environment and Technology in their land, commencement of the East-West Road, among other infrastructural projects. And now, with sense of assurance, they are ready to reciprocate the government's commitment and support the long-suspended oil exploration, but certainly not without some requests.
Renewed activity not as a return to the injustice of the past, but as an opportunity to reset relationships, accelerate remediations, and unlock economic inclusions. This consensus, Mr. President, is neither coerced nor conditional on empty promises. It is anchored on 2 pillars: equitable participation and credible confidence building measures.
There is every sign that this government is serious about resolving these issues. And I think we need to give them all the necessary opportunity and time. to ensure that this problem is resolved once and for all.
Let me thank the Ogoni people.
President Tinubu appreciated the people for toeing the path of peace and directed the Minister of Environment and the NSA to fine-tune the concluding processes towards rewriting the history and in time. President Tinubu promises to deploy every government resource necessary to support the Ogoni people in the bid to harness the resource on their land for the benefit of their area and Nigeria in general.
We have shown the entire nation what disciplined dialogue can achieve. To the dialogue committee, your work now becomes the blueprint for the implementation. Let us together seize this moment, turning pain into purpose, conflict into cooperation, and transform the wealth beneath Ogoni soil into a blessing for the people and for Nigeria. We have to start now. A dead asset is not valuable to the community, the country, and the people.
And in a new demonstration of genuine commitment to right the wrong, the President conferred posthumous national honor of Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, on 4 Ogoni heroes.
We are living here with the hope that something practical is being done and that our matters have received a hearing at the highest level.
We are going to make sure that peace will be restored. Already it is, and hopefully you see the benefit of it, not just in Ogoniland, but the entire Niger Delta, and by extension also Nigeria.
From the State House, Musbal Nanwahab, NT News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has continued to prevail on captains of industry in a bid to support his administration's drive in sustaining the downward trend in the prices of commodities, especially food items. The president this Wednesday received the chairman of BOA Group, Alhaji Abdulsamad Rabiu, in the State House with discussion centered on food prices. In an interview with our State House correspondent after their meeting behind closed doors, Alhaji Rabiu commended the president for various reforms leading to stability in the economy, including the duty waiver on some food items and the harmonization of foreign exchange, among others.
100 naira before the end of the year. Really, for all of this, we must give full credit to His Excellency and the government. You know, there are bold reforms and decisive policies creating the foundation for a stronger economy, a more stable currency, and a better future for businesses and Nigerians alike.
Urges Nigerians to continue to support the administration in order to sustain the positive improvement in prices of commodities.
Items last year and what we have today, you see that there is a significant reduction in all the, commodities, prices of food items. So I think we just need to be a bit more patient. Clearly things are getting better, and we must continue to support the government. And we owe this progress, to the vision and leadership of His Excellency.
The chairman of BOA Group, Alhaji Rabiu Abdulsamad, right there talking to our correspondent. Elsewhere, Vice President Shettima has played host to the President of Namibia, Nandi Ndaitwah, on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly, where both leaders engaged in bilateral talks, where the Namibian leader announced her planned official visit to Nigeria. The Vice President in a high-level session also met with a delegation from the Gates Foundation, led by the CEO, Mark Sussman. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
The Namibian leader, who assumed office March 21, 2025, commended Nigeria's diplomats for their invaluable contributions to her government and country. Acknowledging Nigeria's leadership role among Africa member states, she found it appropriate to leverage on the ongoing opportunity to meet with Vice President Kashim Shettima to establish more mutual ties. Vice President Kashim Shettima reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to deepening bilateral relations with Namibia, saying Nigeria-Namibia relationship should be taken to the next level. In a separate high-level session, Vice President Kashim Shettima met with a delegation from the Gates Foundation, appreciating the foundation for its support in healthcare, agriculture, and financial inclusion, while calling for expanded investment in Nigeria.
Now we have crossed the Rubicon. We are on an upward trajectory. For last quarter, the economy grew by 4.3%. We are expecting that in the next 2 years we will hit 7%. We have no option than to grow. And now our foreign reserves has hit $42 billion. It's still little for a nation of Nigerians. But it's still better than why we made it. There is a lot of agitation within the nation because of the fallouts of our economic policy. But it's a maturation process. It's a price that we all have to pay for the nation to be stabilized.
We have some specific aspirations to really scale up the Kabame's domestic seed production in Nigeria and ultimately have it wholly domestically produced to a much lower cost. And then also wanted to make sure we touched on some of our broader work supporting your investments in human capital, that's both in education and in health more broadly. As you've heard from Mr. Gates, and I know you yourself have been helping drive a human capital development strategy. We think those are the most essential investments in the citizens of Nigeria.
What I wanted to now put to the table, to the Gates Foundation, is your...
Nigeria's Minister of Education appealed for greater Gates Foundation support in education, especially in the areas of technology and artificial intelligence. The Gates Foundation has signed a new grant with the Central Bank of Nigeria to support related initiatives, saying Nigeria is one of the foundation's strongest partners on the African continent. From New York, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
And still on the 80th Onga, we're now being joined by the Minister of State Industry via Zoom, John Aina, to speak more on development right there in New York, United States of America. Many thanks for joining us, sir. Honorable Minister, can you hear me?
I'm glad to join you.
All right, great.
Yes,
now,
I can hear you.
Thank you. Now, just a moment ago, we saw you join world leaders at Onga 80. Could you share with Nigerians why this particular event, talking about the launch of the Africa's 4th industrial development decade, is so important and what role Nigeria is playing?
Well, the IDDA 3, was it spanned between 2016 and 2025. So it became very imperative that you need to, working with other partners, the AU, Afri-Exim-Bank, AFDB, UNECA, organize this, high-level advocacy event, for IDDA, for, industrial development decade for Africa, the 4th edition. And I think, Nigeria participated at this. I mean, I took part in a high level regional integration and partnerships. And, spoken in Nigeria, we had just validated the national industrial policy. So it became a showcase, really, at the event. And, just recently, you'll also discover that yesterday or 2 days ago, Nigeria's GDP figures for, the first quarter of 2025, indicated that, we had grown upwards of about 4.3%, which was the highest in 4 years. And guess what is driving that growth? Is the oil sector and industry. What it means is that the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing something right in terms of manufacturing industry, in terms of actualizing the 7th agenda of the 8-point agenda, which is accelerating diversification of our economy through industry, manufacturing, innovation, and all of that. So we are now at the moment in which industry is beginning to contribute, as handsomely and drive our GDP growth that is targeted at, Mr. President's 1 trillion economy. So Nigeria's participation at this was quite useful, quite, apt, talking about policy. We just validated policy, talking about regional integration. Nigeria is at the forefront of the African Continental Free Trade Area, playing leadership in terms of creating value chains, so that Nigeria's petrochemicals, for example, make sense in terms of the plastic industry in Cote d'Ivoire. And then in terms of partnerships, Nigeria is also at the forefront, working with partners like Afrexim, partners like UNIDO. We have just signed a PCP, Program for Country Partnership, under this administration. All of these continue to give the right signals and the right feeling towards the growth of industry. And Nigeria, therefore, strongly identifies with the fact that this fourth, IDDA that, the advocacy event has held today, signals for African continent the fact that industrialization, this becomes the decade for industrialization for Nigeria, for Africa. And why not? I mean, we've been so resource dependent. What we hope is that the milestones, globally, Africa's contribution manifest is less than about 2%. The hope is that in measuring the gains of IDDA 4, that we're going to see significant progress, a significant scaling of this contribution. So I think that Nigeria's participation was quite appreciated, and would more or less, still the show in terms of the various things that were announced at this, high-level event.
Many thanks, Honourable Minister, for your intervention. Indeed, you have touched on so many other issues we would have loved to talk about. But of course, when you return to the country, I would have you with us to talk more about the developments at UNGA 80 and the benefits to Nigeria. Many thanks once again, Minister of State Industry, John Enoh, for joining us on News Extra.
Yeah, thank you. I'd gladly like to be a guest. Thank you.
All right. Now let's see other news. The 10th House of Representatives is working in synergy with the executive for the actualization of the renewed hope agenda of President Tinubu's led administration as it affects repositioning the economy. This resonated at the inaugural meeting of the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee on the implementation and oversight of the Naira for crude oil policy. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Nigeria is blessed with abundant crude oil reserves, yet key players in the economy agree the benefits of this resource have not translated to maximum value to Nigerians. This inaugural meeting of the Ad Hoc Committee is to highlight areas of responsibility, examining the visibility and potential impact of the Naira for crude oil policy, engage with stakeholders across government, the oil and gas industry, financial institutions, and international partners.
A thorough examination of its framework will enable the committee to determine whether the policy is achieving its intended objectives, identify any gaps in its implementation, and highlight areas where adjustments may be required.
The shift, if properly structured, will not only boost confidence in Naira, but also reduce pressure on our foreign reserves, stimulate domestic economic activities, and enhance Nigeria's sovereignty over its resources.
It's not been easy. From the marginal fields we get, we pay in dollar. Our sales, more than 70% is in Naira. You go to the market to source. At the end of the day, are you really in business? It's not everybody that can muster and continue to still be afloat.
A key area of interest to DAPMAN while you're doing your work is the cost build-up, the actual costs at which refineries receive the crude oil that is being sold in the country.
It is expected that the committee will provide a workable recommendations and report back to the plenary for considerations. From the National Assembly, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
In Nigeria's National Assembly, a bill is never truly born until two chambers agree, a principle called concurrence. It's the heartbeat of lawmaking in the bicameral legislature. Ignatius Nkwo in this report takes a look at this parliamentary practice and its implication in representative government.
In a bicameral legislature, as in Nigeria's National Assembly, the making of law is never a solitary act. A bill may begin its journey in one chamber, but it cannot stand alone. It needs the assent of the other. That final handshake, known as concurrence, gives life to legislation. Without it, laws remain in limbo, suspended in silence.
No one arm of the National Assembly should be able to pass any bill into law or make any bill into law without concurrent approval from the other arm. Therefore, I believe that will add more value, more weight, and more representation of the Nigerian people.
Concurrence is often described as democracy's guardrail. It slows the rush, insists on scrutiny, and compels a broader debate. It ensures that voices from the noisy market to the remote villages find reflection in the nation's laws.
Specifically, when there is concurrence between the two chambers, it's to avoid any ambiguity. That's to ensure agreement on the bill.
But there are critics. They see it as a brake on progress, a stumbling block that risks duplication, even rivalry between the two chambers.
In a situation where the bicameral is costing more, taking more time, taking more resources, and probably being less productive.
I feel the bicameral nature sometimes really makes passage of laws cumbersome. People can be represented with just the House of Representatives.
For citizens, concurrence feels like delay, another pause in the machinery of governance. Yet, democracy is rarely swift. Its strength lies not in speed, but in agreement.
Well, when both chambers finally meet in unity, the law that emerges carries something enduring, the unmistakable signature of the people's will. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Many thanks, Ignatius. Now, the federal government has officially unveiled the theme for the 2025 independence anniversary. Nigeria at 65. All hands on deck for a greater nation. According to a statement by Segun Imohilsen, Director of Information and Public Relations at the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the theme emphasizes the need for unity, collaboration and patriotism among the public sector, private sector, civil society and citizens to build a nation characterized by sustainable peace, prosperity and progress. The statement highlights that since independence on October 1, 1960, Nigeria has navigated challenges and achieved notable advancements in various economic sectors. It calls for collective efforts to consolidate these gains and strive for loftier objectives, aiming to forge a powerful nation for all citizens. To actualize the renewed hope agenda, government activities and programs are expected to align with the official theme. As part of activities marking the 65th independence anniversary, the following events will take place. Jumat prayer on Friday, September 26 at 1 p.m. Interdenominational church service on Sunday, September 28 at 10 a.m. And a World Press Conference is scheduled for Monday, September 29 at 10 a.m. This is News Extra. More news.
Free cubes available in beef, chicken, mixed spices, and all-purpose variants.
Many thanks for staying with us. The Nigeria Police Force has presented checks worth over 2.1 billion naira to the families of officers who died in active service. Francis Form reports that with tears streaming down their faces, widows, children and next of kins received the support under the Group Life Assurance and IGP Family Welfare Schemes. The Inspector General of Police said the exercise is part of an unbroken pledge that the force would never abandon the families of its fallen heroes.
We know the void left by your loved ones cannot be filled by any monetary sum. Yet, these checks are a symbol of our collective gratitude and a pledge that you remain part of the Nigerian police family. Let me reaffirm with utmost clarity that the welfare of officers and men of the Nigerian police force, whether serving, retired or departed, remains a cardinal priority of this administration.
Since inception, the schemes have disbursed over 24.2 billion naira to nearly 10,000 families, a gesture described as more than a duty but a sacred trust. In other news, the Federal Road Safety Corps has renewed its call for the establishment of a world-class trauma center across Nigeria to enhance treatment of road traffic crash victims. This was disclosed ahead of the International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports.
Experts believe that properly equipped trauma centers could significantly reduce fatalities through prompt response and coordinated care. A tragic example, often cited, is the death of the son of the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Monica Dongba Benson, who was knocked down by a hit-and-run driver in Jos. His mobile phone and other belongings were stolen, while passers-by reportedly watched him bleed to death.
I wondered where to go to. We wondered what to do. Then road safety came to our minds. What can I do? This is what I've decided to do. I don't want my son's death to just be like that. That's why as he was being lowered down into the grave, I said, we have to do something.
In Africa and Nigeria, specifically, more than 5,000 deaths and 31,000 injuries are recorded annually, many of which could have been prevented.
There are trauma centers that are built and take care of thousands of kilometers using helicopters and with a helipad. So anywhere that a crash occur or any emergency occur, the helicopter will move, pick the victim and bring the victim to that trauma center.
The FRSC Commercial also announced the forthcoming first ever International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference. The event aims to strengthen safety culture across Africa. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
And away from road safety matters, let's look at the judiciary, as the legal profession is described as a craft that is as old as time itself. Hence, the careful attention paid to the training of its members. The reason those newly admitted into the profession go through a rigorous process of learning. Alabade Arewa will tell us more.
It is the second day of admitting new wigs into the bar, and as the ceremonies continue in Abuja, with the body of benchers administering the oath to another set. All of them have been found worthy in character and learning, with virtues that are expected to guide them throughout their career.
I strongly advise you to resist the temptation of establishing a law office immediately, as some are in the habit of doing.
Call to the bar is without prejudice to a person's status, as some of these new wigs with physical and other challenges are found out. We have here one of the new wigs. It's according to him, it has been a challenging experience for him.
It has been a long period of time. Since 2013, I started studying law.
I have learned never to expect any special treatment from anybody, but based on the fact that I'm a person with disability.
This has been a journey of almost 2 decades.
They've really been very, very, very supportive, and I'm so appreciative of them. And I pray that I'll continue to make them proud.
As they take their place in society as ministers in the Temple of Justice, public expectations are high that they will deploy their expertise to solve societal problems. For the Nigerian Law School, they will continue to inculcate, to train, and graduate the best for Nigeria in the field of law, and quite appreciative of the presidential approval for the construction of a 250-bed hostel in the Buhari area of the school. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Let's head to Port Harcourt now, as 1 week after lifting of emergency rule in Rivers State, residents are expressing their views on the return of Governor Siminalayi Fubara and members of the State House of Assembly. Some of them who commended President Tinubu for his intervention are calling for synergy between the executive and legislative arms in order to drive development in the state. Let's hear them as Osinachi Samuel leads us.
The ambience across Port Harcourt's metropolis is one of excitement and high expectations as residents anticipate the resumption of suspended projects which they believe will boost the state's economy and improve their daily lives.
I want the House of Assembly to collaborate very, very well with the governor. And because there is no way he can perform without the cooperation of the House of Assembly. Then going forward, the governor has to quickly look at all of the projects that have been slowed down, especially the Port Harcourt Ring Road.
What I will advise is that both the executive and the legislature should have learned their lessons. After all, we are one family.
A week ago, Rivers State returned to her original democratic government after months of direct federal oversight under emergency rule. From the popular Abalimoto Park to the state secretariat and the markets, many residents say the return of the governor has rekindled hope for political stability and economic revival.
We are very happy for the return of the governor. His return will pave way for more development.
As him come back, we believe God, so market go day. We like him as him come back.
Analysts say the 6 months of suspension of both executive and legislative arms created a governance vacuum, but expressed gratitude to the president for his intervention. In Port Harcourt, Osinachi Samuel, NTA News.
Moving on now, the federal government says it remains committed to the goal of transforming the country's livestock sector by boosting productivity, enhancing resilience and unlocking the new opportunities through the commercialization of livestock. National Project Coordinator of Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Projects, LPRES, Alhaji Abubakar Sanusi, stated this while on an assessment tour of some projects initiated by the Development Project in Ondo State. Tony Batire reports.
The places visited by the National Project Coordinator and his team were the cold chain facility at the Veterinary Hospital in Akure, Veterinary Clinic Igbaraoke, and Livestock Markets Shongo in Akure North Local Government area of the state. Expressing satisfaction with the level of work done at the sites, the National Coordinator noted that the project is the implementation support mission of the National Coordination Officer of LPRES, which comprises Ondo, Ekiti, Edo, Oyo, and Kwara states.
So our assessment so far is satisfactory. We have seen the work. The SEO is doing their best. They are trying. They are working. But, you know, as a technical mission, we can see 1 or 2 places that maybe needs improvement.
The purpose of all what we are doing in LPRES is to increase productivity, resilience, and commercialization in the states.
Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project LPRES is a 6-year World Bank funded initiative that is supported by the federal government to enhance livestock productivity as well as strengthen the country's institutions to respond to eligible emergencies in the country. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
Still talking agriculture, the federal government is committed to ensuring Nigeria's agricultural products meet international standards and accepted in the global commodity markets. To support this goal, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture has established a mini rice paddy laboratory for grading produce for both local and international markets. Musa Baba Ali feeds us.
Though it may seem modest, the mini lab will have a significant impact on Nigeria's agricultural production. The facility is equipped to grade rice paddy, measure moisture content, and assess quality.
This one peels the paddy.
The laboratory located in Fadama House was established by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security with support from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA.
Having this laboratory in place, it affords us the opportunity to actually grade our paddy according to the standards that have been laid down.
The Director of Agribusiness and Marketing at the Ministry of Agriculture stated that the lab is accessible to all rice farmers and millers across the country.
The establishment of this facility demonstrates the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security's commitment to strengthening the rice value chain, empowering farmers.
Key stakeholders in the rice production value chain and various associations have praised the initiative, noting that it will enable Nigeria to penetrate international markets without obstacles. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Another news, the Advisory Board of the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas, NLNG, has unanimously agreed that all 112 submissions for the Nigeria Prize for Science entries demonstrated commendable efforts, but lacked the soundness, usability, and impact that characterized the prize. The board therefore declared that there is no winner for the Nigeria Prize for Science for the year 2025. Chairman of the board, Professor Bath Anaji, made this known at a media briefing in Lagos. Diana Ajale has all the details.
The bottom line really is the Nigeria Science Prize was declared open in February 2025 with the theme Innovation in ICT, Artificial Intelligence, AI, and Digital Technologies for Development. Scientists and innovators worldwide were invited to compete for the 100,000 USD prize, which honors groundbreaking solutions to scientific challenges relevant to Nigeria. Academic track record, quality, innovation, impact, commercialization were some of the criteria approved by members of the advisory board of the NLNG for this year 2025 Nigeria Prize. According to Professor Nnaji, none of the literary works met the criteria, resulting to declaration of no winner.
The judges also discovered that some entries did not fully address all the three thematic areas of the 2025 theme, while it's showing weakness in the following areas. 1. The practicality of the innovations in solving scenario-specific problems. 2. Lack of clarity on the operability of the innovations. And 3. No evidence of robust field testing of the innovations.
At NLNG, we believe Nigeria's sustainable development depends on building indigenous scientific and technological capacity. Submitted to this prize have shown how digital tools can leapfrog challenges and create homegrown opportunities.
Since inception in 2004, the administration of the prize stands as a celebration of scientific excellence, recognizing and honoring scientists from across the globe who, in their unique ways, dedicate their works to solving distinct Nigeria challenges. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Meanwhile, it's a new dawn for Nigeria's environment as the National Oil Spill Detection and Response Agency, NOSTRA, pledges tougher action and renewed commitment to clean up spill sites and restore ecosystems. Justin Bem-Onye reports that the agency is rolling out sweeping reforms to rebuild public trust and step up Nigeria.
It is a fresh start at NOSTRA, and the message is clear. Nigeria's environment must be protected. Board Chairman Edward Omoerewa says the agency is rolling out bold reforms to win back public trust and restore communities devastated by oil pollution. At an inaugural strategy meeting in Abuja, Omoerewa charged board members and management staff to raise performance standards, boost regulatory enforcement, and hold polluters accountable.
My vision for NOSTRA is for people to be aware of an organization, an agency that has come out to prove itself. It will have the powers to be able to monitor, inspect, and punish people who try to pollute our environment.
We believe that the board is just a complementary body to work with us, and for us, we are prepared to collaborate with them in a very robust way.
Omoerewa also unveiled NOSTRA's three-point agenda: improve communication with stakeholders, fully implement the National Oil Spill Contingency Plan, and rebuild public confidence in environmental governance. Justin Bem-Onye, NTA News.
Let's turn our attention to other news now as President and Chairman of the Council of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPRO, Dr. Ike Neliako, has commended Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf for his dedication to addressing the needs and aspirations of the people of Kano State. Dr. Neliako made the remarks during a guided tour of several ongoing and completed projects initiated by the governor across the state. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
This is the Agundi flyover and underpass interchange, a multi-billion naira project awarded by Kano State government in December 2023. It stands as a major component of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf's urban renewal initiative that aims to ease traffic congestion along the ever-busy corridor. At the end of a national engagement in Kano, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations delegates from various parts of the country visited the site as part of a guided tour of signature projects being undertaken by the state government. Here at the Chala Gorge Dam in Karai, a 6-megawatt hydropower project is underway. Once completed, it is expected to boost electricity supply to several communities across the state. Also toured by the professional image makers are a revived garment industry in Gezo, as well as road and erosion control projects.
Nobody can tell us. We can now tell based on what we have seen.
Beyond the scale and scope of the initiatives, the NIPR delegates express appreciation for Governor Yusuf's commitment to timely delivery and adherence to quality standards in the execution of the projects. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
This age of social media, artisans and service providers are showcasing their skills like never before. But the growing trend of using pictures and videos from clients' homes or even using strangers' faces to advertise their work is raising concerns. While some see it as creativity, others see an invasion of privacy. Correspondent Muplank Dakok reports.
Artisans are increasingly capturing and showcasing their work on social media. These images, which are often uploaded without consent, sometimes reveal intimate details of people's private lives. It has become common to see a homeowner discover their house on social media after an artisan walked there. For some, what looks like harmless advertising feels like a violation of their right to privacy.
There was this one time I went to a barbing salon and the guy was setting up. I later found out that he actually took the video and posted it on social media.
But for other Nigerians, it is no big deal.
A carpenter that comes to your house to do a job for you, taking a picture is not a bad thing to me.
Different people cannot be coming to your house every day to work in your house. So you have to have one specific person that can come and work for you.
Nigerian data protection regulations emphasize the right to privacy and consent. Therefore, posting without permission may have legal consequences.
The person can institute a civil action and claim damages for infringement. You can also initiate criminal prosecution by reporting to relevant government agencies because it also comes under the Cyber Security Act.
Beyond the law, experts warn of the ethical and psychological risks.
For victims of trauma or abuse, being exposed like that can trigger fear, anxiety.
When data goes out there, it's very possible for criminals to profile you, which could be very detrimental to you. So now when this happens, the first thing you have to do is to report to the police.
As artisans embrace the digital marketplace, the key thing needed is permission, because as the saying goes, privacy is not a privilege, it is a right. In Abuja, Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Many thanks, Muplang. Indeed, well said, and many thanks for the eye-opener. Now, there is a popular saying, justice delayed is justice denied. Now, the vacuum that existed in Yobe's Sharia court has been filled with the appointment of a substantive Grand Qadi who has taken the oath of office and allegiance with a clear mandate to ensure swift justice delivery in all Sharia courts across the state. Yunusa Suleiman captured every moment of the swearing-in ceremony of the state's new Grand Qadi, as well as other political appointees, presided over by Governor Mai Mala Buni.
I, Honorable Qadi Abba Mamadi, do solemnly...
Qadi Abba Alhaji Mamadi, a seasoned jurist with 29 years of experience and diverse judicial background, is now the 7th Grand Qadi of Yobe State since its creation in 1991, after taking his oath of office and allegiance, expected to bring his wealth of knowledge and expertise to ensure justice for all. Others sworn in are 5 special advisors, 1 permanent member for the State Universal Basic Education Board, and 13 permanent secretaries. Governor Mai Mala Buni, after signing all relevant documents to formalize their appointments, reminded them on the need to be guided by honesty, fairness, and justice to all.
You are appointed based on merit, commitment, and loyalty.
You are therefore advised to strengthen due process, be proactive and inject fresh ideas to facilitate effective and efficient service delivery. Government will continue to equip and reposition the public service to be more responsive to our current demands for speedy and effective implementation of our policies and programs.
To see that I introduce new technology into the Sharia system so that will assist in the dispensation of justice, because presently we are doing what we call long writing.
Appointees are expected to drive the state's agenda, focusing on expediting justice in Sharia courts and fostering good governance to ensure efficient service delivery to the citizens. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Let's pay attention to health now, as Gombe State government is taking steps to upscale its health care system to match international best practices. This position was made known by the State Commissioner for Health in a press conference ahead of the Health Summit in the state. Emmanuel Akila reports.
Yes. Dr. Abuja briefing journalists on the activities lined up for the Health Summit, scheduled to hold on the 2nd and 3rd October 2025.
The two-day event will feature guest speakers, presentations, technical sessions, including panel of discussion, and the launching of Gombe State Human Resource Policy and Strategy documents.
Besides showcasing the transformation in the healthcare sector in recent years, Dr. Dairu says experts from within and outside Nigeria would come with resources to help strengthen Gombe's healthcare.
We would also leverage on technology. You'd see what we've done in Go Health. It's numero uno in Nigeria. More than 20 states came to Gombe to study what is in Go Health. We want to showcase to the world.
He asked that, besides the launching of quick response ambulances, health workers would be recruited to match the structural transformation in the healthcare system. Among the expected attendees is Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Bola Tinubu, who will inaugurate the newly constructed Federal Medical Center Kumo in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Let's pause now. There's more news in a bit. Please stay with us. Many thanks for remaining with Africa's largest TV network. Now to other stories. Political ideologies and good governance have been identified as pivotal for entrenching sustainable and participatory democracy in the country, which promote healthy competition among key players and provide alternative among Nigerians. This was the position of various speakers, among them academics and political class, at the public lecture in honor of renowned historian late Dr. Yusuf Bala Usman of Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Sagru Awal reports that the lecture was to commemorate the 20 years of the death of the university Don.
Late Yusuf Bala Usman, an academic by excellence with many books, journals and articles to his credit. In addition, late Bala Usman was a political colossus with a clear-cut political ideology for the emancipation of the downtrodden. While alive, he schooled a number of academics at his alma mater, the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria.
His view of education is that of a functional investment in human capital development.
In addition of his outstanding contributions, friends, students and political disciples gathered to remember him 20 years after his demise. Speakers are clear on the position of the late Bala Usman on political ideology and good governance.
The message for the participants and other Nigerians is that we should look at Bala Usman as a metaphor. Bala Usman as an idea, a generic idea that should be applied by everywhere.
Someone has been remembered not for the money that he has accumulated, not for the power that he has exercised, but for the power of the intellect.
The memorial lecture instituted by those who believe in his political and academic ideologies served as a platform to reinforce their commitment to the unity of this country and uphold democracy as the best form of government. From Zaria, Sagir Muhammad Awal, NTA News.
Elsewhere, the federal government, through the Industrial Training Fund, has trained, certified and about to license 30,000 artisans in project management, among other professional certifications. Benny Adams reports that plans to export talents outside Nigeria has also reached advanced stage.
In here is a batch of 30,000 artisans out of a total of 100,000 under the Skill Up Artisans program of the federal government. They are being assessed after receiving training on project management.
The government is supporting us. We will give you trainees. We will pay for the trainees.
For the Director General of the Industrial Training Fund, Nigeria is not just training artisans, it is certifying a future workforce ready to compete globally. And the assessment is to ensure every certificate awarded is not just paper, but a proof of real-world skills.
We have people that do strong shoes, strong bags, nice dresses, good dresses, but the finishings are not up to international standard. We are taking some people to Italy very soon. We have discussed with Italian embassy. They've linked up with the international training centers of international repute to train our trainer.
Once we elevate project management skills, you see proper planning, you see proper management of work, and you see less risk, less wastes on materials. And you begin to see these people understand how to actually deliver work that gives value to the clients.
Stakeholders here are of the view that the SUPA certification is becoming a seal of excellence, a national badge that says these artisans know their craft.
So it's going to increase my profits by planning, by organizing, and by delivering my goods in time.
I've gone through again the second phase. It's not just a waste. I will showcase myself. I will give them what I just learned.
ITF says the vision doesn't stop at Nigeria's borders, but with internationally benchmarked training, these young professionals are not just preparing for jobs at home, they are being groomed for global demand. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
If the Naira could talk, it would cry out for care. And that plea is being heard by the Central Bank of Nigeria as it launches a nationwide campaign to end the abuse of the country's most powerful national symbol. Let's hear Musa Abubakar.
From the markets to the dance floors, Nigeria's Naira has suffered abuse, sprayed at parties, mutilated, and even traded illegally. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria is saying enough is enough, launching a nationwide roadshow to restore dignity to the national currency. The campaign flag off in Abuja will travel across major cities, teaching Nigerians that respecting the Naira is respecting the nation itself.
We handle our notes with clear and collaborate across all sectors. We unconsciously or consciously extend the lifespan of our currency, reduce avoidable costs.
It is the civic duty of every Nigerian to respect the Naira and keep it clean to safeguard its integrity. The Naira is our critical symbol of national identity.
Beyond penalties, the CBN warns that mishandling the Naira shortens its lifespan, increases printing costs, and drains public resources. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The message is, take care of the Naira. Now, the demand for renewable energy is increasing, with more states exploring opportunities to electrify communities and boost economy. Joshua Ojita reports that Sokoto State has taken its turn in the ongoing strategic roundtable engagement with the Rural Electrification Agency to bridge energy gap in the state.
Sokoto State has huge renewable energy market with more than 2,000 off-grid sites, but with low investment in renewables. This strategic engagement is to showcase opportunities in the state for investors, mobilize them to leverage funding provided by the Rural Electrification Agency, and deploy solar mini-grids to unserved communities. The target is to improve access to electricity and catalyze investment in the state.
The state can attract the private sector funding of about $769 million and generate close to 200,000 employment opportunities and increase the state GDP by 18 billion.
The state government commits to partnership with the Rural Electrification Agency to harness renewables in the state.
SOPA
Sokoto State, through strategic planning, has established a 38 megawatt independent power plant SIPP in Sokoto Arkilla area. It is designed as an embedded power system to complement the existing power supply in Sokoto State. I want to use this opportunity to assure our development partners that Sokoto State is well committed to investment in energy sector.
Our commitment to Sokoto State is to be able to partner with the state in the area of agriculture so that the post-harvest losses they are experiencing be minimized. This we can do by providing storage facilities, using solar panels and battery energy storage system.
So far, 16 states signed with the Rural Electrification Agency in the ongoing strategic roundtable engagements with subnationals to adopt renewable energy as more states establish their electricity market. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Many thanks to our power correspondent. Now, President Bola Tinubu congratulates his long-standing associate and chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Alhaji Abdullahi Tijani Gwazo, on his 65th birthday. President Tinubu extols the former Minister of State for Housing and Urban Development for his patriotism and consistency in progressive politics. The president believes the support and respect for Gwazo by his people is a result of his principled politics rooted in the ideal of putting the people first, which he demonstrated when he served as local government chairman and later as deputy governor of Kano State from 2007 to 2011. President Tinubu recalls that in 2011, as the governorship candidate of the defunct Action Congress of Nigeria, ACN, Gwazo brought his political experience to bear and helped firm up the political overtures that materialized into the APC in 2013. Now time to take another. Thank you for staying with us. The roles of the volunteerism arm of the Federal Safety Corps, Special Marshal, cannot be undermined in sanitizing the roads and ensure safety on the highways. Hence, the need to support and collaborate becomes eminent. Corps Marshal, Federal Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, mentioned this at the 16th Special Marshal National Summit in Abuja. Oyeyemi Ajayi has all the details.
The Special Marshal is an integral part of the Federal Safety Corps, with roles like that of the regular marshals, but their volunteerism extols their virtues, as they are men and women from different walks of life with proven integrity. This 16th National Summit was, however, another time for them to chart a better course of operation, with some inputs to enhance safety on the roads.
Input of Special Marshal in research and analysis have also translated into informed policy decisions related to safer road and fuller lives.
Getting that drivers need to undergo drug tests even before they acquire their licenses.
Volunteerism is the evidence that government cannot do it all by itself. We must collaborate with the government.
As they say, road safety is everyone's business. Experts and stakeholders charged that more is surely expected of the special marshals, especially the 4 honorary special marshals decorated, while charging them not to relent in their sacrificial activities they render to make sure the roads are safe. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Some parts of Port Harcourt metropolis are being ravaged by flash flood as a result of persistent rainfall in the last few days. And this is creating fear among residents, going by the recent NIMET prediction. Robinson Deratide, who is monitoring the situation, reports residents are calling for urgent government intervention following the difficulties being faced in some areas.
Flooding is an annual experience in Rivers State, coming from 2 dimensions, which are flooding resulting from rising sea level, affecting riverine areas, particularly the Orashi region, and flash flood in parts of Port Harcourt metropolis over non-adherence to environmental regulation. We are presently at Spring Valley Street, a link road between NTA Uzoba Road to East-West Road. As you can see, the flood has taken over the street, and for years, people living in these streets have been facing this challenge.
Imagine the other day when I was going to church, a lady fell inside gutter here. I have to pick her to drop her somewhere there where she can get water to bath herself. Let government come for their rescue.
We have been passing through this flood of 18 for a very long time. We have tried our best.
The situation results in traffic congestion and breakdown of vehicles on major roads. People are calling on government and citizens to respect environmental practices and ensure that the drainages are not blocked, and those who are built on natural waterways are advised to take measures to stop the flooding.
Be able to make places, construct places, erect places where those persons that are affected, should begin to have their peace and stay.
There is a drainage that government has provided that passes through my building. I normally clear it before the rainy season, and the mid of the rainy season I open up those drainages so that water can flow. If not, it will flood everywhere in that area. So the major concern is that we should take ownership of those facilities and take care of them.
People living around flood-prone areas are also advised to relocate now that the rains have increased. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Darateide, NTA News.
A short break beckons. Please stay with us. Team Nigeria ended their campaign at the just concluded 2025 World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan, with a single medal. World record holder Tobi Amusan delivered the only silver medal to place Nigeria 27th in the overall medals table. The performance of the Nigerian athletes has once again put sports administration on the spotlight. Austin Edemodu's report captures the sentiments shared by stakeholders on the issue.
Tobi Amusan, look at the clock. I cannot believe it.
You can call her the Nigerian Golden Girl. In the World Athletics Championship in 2022 in Oregon, USA, Tobi Amusan smashed a world record in women's 100 meters hurdles. In the just concluded 2025 World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan, Amusan earned Nigeria a silver medal, the only medal from 15 athletes that represented the country.
My fans, in fact, the whole of Nigeria, the whole world, everyone supporting Tobi Express. This is for you guys.
Another positive from the championship was Kayashala Ajayi's 100 meters exploits, which broke 18 years Nigerian record with 6th position finish in the championship. Other fast-growing Nigerian athletes as Nathaniel Ezekiel 400 meters hurdles, Udodi Omuzurike 200 meters, and shot put sensation Chukwuebuka Enekwechi no doubt raised the bar for Nigeria even without medals.
You know that the set of athletes we have now are actually willing to give their best, but the problem now is just the management, the person that is going to bring them together and make sure he provides everything the athletes need.
Nigeria's preparations were overshadowed by the switch of allegiance by Favour Ofili to Turkey and concerns raised by Amusan over the quality of event sports kits. Stanley Orha, an athletics coach, is no stranger to these controversies.
We prepare for competition 2 weeks, and which it can give you the best. Other athletes we're competing against, they prepare from 1 year, 2 years, trying to just meet up with the time.
The misfortunes of Nigerian athletes in international competitions giving cause for concern, and there is need for a quick fix.
We need to go back and really get people at the grassroots. Because before it's secondary schools, if you say under 20, it remains under 20.
Just look around. Every federation, it's always complaints, because our administrators are laymen in the sporting field. It will always continue like this till there's a change.
In Abuja, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
Let's join Badia Deleye for more sports news.
Thanks, Yeri. Now let's begin with football. As the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria have begun their campaign at the WAFUB Under-17 tournament in Cote d'Ivoire with a 4-0 win over Benin Republic. Golden Eaglets striker George Aga scored a hat-trick to put Nigeria on top of Group B with 3 points with superior goal difference. The WAFU B Under-17 Championship serves as qualifiers for the African Under-17 Cup of Nations. Golden Eagles head coach Manu Garba believes the team can beat Burkina Faso to reach the semi-finals.
We know that if we win this match, at least we have our foot in the semi-final. But as the competition progresses, we are going to see a better Nigeria.
Away from Africa, there were no shocks in the English League Cup this evening as the quartet of Premier League teams made it to the fourth round. Manchester City recorded a 2-0 win over Huddersfield Town. Newcastle United completely demolished Bradford City 4-1, with Tottenham hammering Doncaster City 3-0 just as Arsenal ran out 2-0 winners away to Port Vale. Away from football now, Novak Djokovic will return to action in Shanghai next month in his first tournament since his US Open semi-final defeat by Carlos Alcaraz. The 38-year-old Serbian reached the final in Shanghai last year, losing to Sinner in straight sets. This year's tournament runs from October 1 to 12 in Shanghai. And that does it on Sports Tonight. Let's return to Nyeri.
Well, thanks, Buddy. The Nasarawa State government has announced the death of Senator Solomon Ewuga. In a statement by Governor Abdullahi Sule, he described the late senator as a distinguished son of the state and a statesman of remarkable standing, who was an astute administrator and a patriot, dedicating his life to the service of Nasarawa State and Nigeria at large. Governor Sule maintained that in his dealings as Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Minister and Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the late Ewuga exemplified commitment, humility, and uncommon courage in leadership. The governor therefore extends his condolences to his family, the Agon Traditional Council, associates, and indeed all the people of Nasarawa State. He was aged 70. The Nigeria Police Force has held a solemn day of tribute at the Police Resource Center in Abuja in honor of late former Inspector General of Police, Dr. Solomon Ehigiato Arase. Francis Form reports that the day of tribute was more than a memorial. It was a reflection on the enduring legacy of a man whose leadership, reforms and vision left an indelible mark on policing in Nigeria.
Officers, dignitaries, family and friends gathered to celebrate the seasoned Let's Police boss, his life, leadership and reforms during his tenure as the 18th IGP from April 2015 to June 2016. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun described Arase as a professional, while tributes from retired IGPs, civil society, and international partners highlight his commitment to community policing, accountability, and welfare of police personnel.
Technical Intelligence Unit, the Intelligence Response Team, the Complaint Response Unit are all his creations. These units today remain the cornerstone of modern policing in Nigeria.
He possessed a remarkable power of endurance.
Arase lived a good life. He started this country. He did his best.
Solomon was a quintessential police officer, a consummate one.
This is a man who is fearless, who is honest, who is trustful.
A capable hand that I say the first intellectual in the Nigeria Police Force as IGP.
He was my strong pillar, confident and professional guide to me in my career.
Solomon really exhibited the wisdom of Solomon.
The best way to honor him is to continue the journey of reform and service to which he devoted his life.
Family members expressed gratitude for the honor, noting his pride in serving the nation.
He was truly the best father a girl could ever ask for, a true champion for us, his daughters.
Even though we mourn, we are happy at the kind of life that he lived.
The event was a call for officers to build on Arasa's legacy, ensuring the force remains people-centered and anchored on professionalism and service. Francis from NTA News.
Let's now have a feel of the weather outlook for Thursday.
Last 24 hours, the southwest, particularly Lagos and Ogun State, has seen quite a bit of rainfall. But as we move into Thursday, residents there can look forward to a brief respite. Meanwhile, the eastern flank of the country is expected to become more active with storms gaining strength, especially across the southeastern region. Now, for the central parts and the northern part of the country, we are looking at isolated thunderstorms, mostly accompanied by light showers. Areas likely to be affected include parts of Benue, some parts of the Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa, Kwara, Plateau, Bauchi, Gombe, Zamfara, some parts of Kaduna, Katsina, Adamawa, Yobe, and Jigawa states. Now, stay tuned for temperature forecast. Thank you for watching.
Well, thanks, Joyce, for that quick peep at the weather outlook for tomorrow. And that's News Extra tonight from the entire production crew. Do have a good night.